Hi GIS enthusiasts! In this video I will show you a quick way to make your own coronavirus map. You see that the virus is spreading throughout the world, and it's very curious to test your GIS knowledge about how to make a map with diagrams and make it on your own, and actually you can update it later. You can make it even better than some of the sites you see regularly and take time to load and so on. And also it's very cool. This knowledge about how to use point features and analyze their attributes is very useful and will serve you in your work to come, hopefully soon after the coronavirus spread is over. Let's hope that it's over soon, so that we can continue our normal work. You can see on my monitor I've already downloaded a shapefile with all the countries in the world. In this video, for simplicity, I will do the analysis only for the countries in Europe. How did I download this file? You can find it. One second. I will load the... First I will show you the coronavirus map I was talking about. You can go to coronavirus map and go to the, let's say, this link, and you can see it takes some time to load, and when it loads you can see the number of cases here, and on the map you can see a point, a red point. Which I think is very simple, and you can make easily in less than 10 minutes. You can make better map than this. You can see the points, main towns and cities in the country, but I don't think they are necessary for this map. Why? Because in the European countries you can see that the point is just placed in the country. It's not statistically derived from the cases in each town, which would be more useful. Like you would expect in the capital to see a big point, and in the small towns to see smaller points, because there are fewer cases there. Or either you can analyze the cases divided by the population of the town, which will be even more advanced. But you can see that this map is very simple. Our colleagues have done great work just to... I don't think it's too hard to do, and I will show you how. So this is our task, to do a kind of map like this, and even better than this. For this case I've downloaded the countries layer for all the world, all around the world, all countries. But I will use only the countries for Europe. How did I download this? You can go to the link in Natural Earth, which I will share in the description, and just click download countries. It's just 4 megabytes. It contains all the countries, and not only the polygon, but also it has some useful information in it. This is the layer I downloaded it. I just renamed it countries all. The original name is something like this: NE 10 meter admin and so on. It has 255 polygons in total, and as you can see it has not only the name and the abbreviation of the country, but also the type of the country, if it is sovereign, and the whole name, the continent it belongs to, population, you can see here population estimate, also GDP, population, year it was taken, type of economy, income, many useful attributes. But in this case we won't need all of them, of course. We'll need just some of them. And they were even more actually. I deleted some of them in this case. So first, to select the countries in Europe, you can either do a filter, like go to filter and click on continent equals Europe, and this will filter case only for Europe. This is one way to do it. Let's remove the filter. I prefer just to select the countries in Europe, including Turkey, because Turkey was not in the continent Europe in this set. It's written Asia, but I consider it part of the European continent, as is Russia. So in this case I selected the countries by going to countries all and going again to fields and values, selecting continent, double clicking, equals, and Europe, and this will select all countries in Europe. I just added country by the country Turkey by shift left clicking on the Turkey polygon, and deselected the Turkey as well, and just right click, save as, and save the shapefile, and renamed as countries Europe. So this is the result set I created, countries in Europe. Next, I deleted most of the attributes. I left only the attributes like that are significant to the task in hand. I could have even deleted some of the other, like name. I could delete it and kept name long. This one I don't need to, I don't know what it is. You can delete it just by going to editing mode and going here, delete field. And let's say I want to delete this brk div and also name, because you can see that it is abbreviated. And I click OK and it deletes it, and just save the changes. That's what I did. I deleted most of the field and left just the needed ones. And then how to create the points. I need points inside each country so that I can create the analysis with the points. This is simply done. I used just a plugin which is called RioCentrate. You can see it here. If you don't have this plugin, you can go to manage and install plugins. Install it. I've already installed it, you can see it here. But if you don't have it, you just search for RioCentrate and you will find it easily. Or just type Rio and here it is. And click on install plugin. When you install the plugin, it will be loaded in the plugins menu. You can go to plugins and find it here, or if you have the plugins toolbar on the screen, you can just click on the plugin itself. So in this case we'll use countries Europe, and we will have the point layer, and it will create this kind of layer with points in the center of each country. You can see there are some countries that are very small, but still it creates points in them, like the Vatican also. And notice that the points take the attributes from the polygon layer, which is very useful because we need the points to have the attribute population and country name. If we go to the attribute table of the points Europe, you can see the points I've created. And they are attributes, of course. So if we go to the attributes, you can see I've deleted all the attributes except the abbreviation and the name, the population, which is in the field pop est, and I've already typed 5 more fields: cov cases, cov devs, cov recav, which means recovered cases, and these two are calculated from these 3. This is COVID percentage and recovered percentage. So how to create these fields? I will show you how to create another field, which I will call it dev percentage. Let's dev pers, like this. Note that the field size, field name has to be at most 10 letters, so choose the abbreviation carefully. And in this case I will choose real because it is a percentage, and 4 symbols and 2 decimals. This will be death percentage as a percentage of the all COVID cases. And I created a field. I did the same for all the fields, except the type of fields are different. COVID cases, COVID deaths, and COVID recovered are all integers, while the percentages are have decimal spaces, and I've selected 2 decimal places. And COVID cases, COVID deaths, and COVID recovered are all integers because they're real number of people. You can have half a person, something like that. And now I've entered these values. We have, you see, 48 countries in total. I've entered 48 multiplied by 344 values in these cells. And how did I do that? I went to a site, of course. You can download the situation report from here, but it's not actually most recent information. You will notice that these numbers are a little bit fewer, and notice that there are no recovered cases here, only deaths, which I don't find it very useful. So I went to another site, worldmeters.info, and you can find it easily by going to your search engine and type coronavirus cases recovered deaths table, and I think the second will be the worldmeters.info. You go to the site, and in this case I will need only the cases in Europe, so I don't need like China and other countries outside Europe. So I just chose Europe, and here are the countries. And I enter the values in this column, which is total cases. I enter them in the column COVID cases. Total deaths, which I enter in the COVID deaths column. And total recovered. I enter this in the COVID recovered. And now we are ready to calculate the percentages. How did I calculate the percentages? For instance, I will calculate COVID percentage. We go to the field calculator. Notice that I've already entered these values, so I can calculate the COVID percentage based on them. It's a very useful trick, and I will show you how to do it. So we go to COVID percentage, we update existing field COVID percentage. I select it from the list, and in the formula I will write COVID cases, first part, and I will multiply it by 100 to get the percentage, and encase it in brackets, and then divide this to the whole population of the country, which is of course in the population estimate. And if I click OK, it recalculated all the values. Now I will also delete all the values here and show you how to do the recovered percentage, but it's very similar to what I did already. So if I click recover percentage and update all, and now I will go to the field calculator again, and for recovered percentage I will use COVID recovered, multiply it by 100 to get the percentage, and divide it by all COVID cases. And don't forget to update the right field. I've made this mistake before. You choose the recovered percentage field. Click OK, and you get the percentage. You can see some countries have 52% of the cases recovered, and you can see it has 14,000 cases and already 7,000 are recovered, which is a very good case. And death percentage, we will calculate it by going to the existing field death percentage, and fields and values we will use COVID deaths multiplied by 100, and divide it by cases, and that will get us the percentage. And after entering the percentages, now the fun part begins. We will make charts and symbolize correctly the percentages and the cases. Now, first the easiest. Let's do a map like this. I just showed you. We do so by going to the symbology of the layer, the point layer. We double click on the point layer. And now we can go to style, and instead of single symbol, I would choose graduated. The column will be number of cases, cover cases, and I will choose size, not color. I want to differentiate the values by size. I will start from 0.5 to, let's say, 6. And let's choose natural breaks so that it is evenly spread, and 10 values. And let's see what we've got. You can see the countries with the lowest number of cases are with the smallest circle. But since it is too small, 0.5, I will start with 2. And let's see the difference. We can also vary the sizes. We can go with 2 to 10. And now it is even more apparent which countries have the most number of cases. Now I will turn on the labels for the countries so that it is even better. Show labels, and I will label with name long, fine. And of course I will style it a little bit. You can see in Portugal you cannot see correctly the name because the circle is over it. So I will go to label, I will choose buffer, and also I will draw background with 2% fill and border. That's first. Second, I will choose the label to go down, not to overlap with the circles. So in placement, I will choose whole polygon, of course, and offset Y I will choose 10 millimeters. Let's see what we've got. Yes, 10 is too much. Let's go with 7, something in the middle, and you can see the difference. Even I can move it a little bit up, like 5. And that is it. We can see the circles and the country it belongs to here. Now, another way to of course, in this case we show only one attribute. It is the number of cases. Let's say you want to combine several attributes. You do that by going again to the symbology with the point there, and in diagrams I will choose pie chart. In attributes I enter the number of cases, number of deaths, and number of recovered cases by simply double clicking. And I choose color that is appropriate for each category. For the deaths I will choose red, for the recovered I will choose some kind of green, and for the cases I choose gray. And now I will of course make its transparency to 0 so that it covers the point layer, and also change the size of it. Let's say I want 15 so that the point will not be visible. Or rather, if you want the point to be visible, you can always decrease the size and go with bigger transparency at 25. And also we can increase the size of the points by going to style and increasing the or decreasing this value. Let's go with 1 to 7, and you can see the difference it makes. You see not only the number of cases but also the recovered cases in green and the deaths in red. You can also go with another way to represent the information by going to the point layer, and instead of in diagrams, instead of a pie chart, I will choose this case, I will choose a histogram with the same attributes, of course, with the same symbology, and in size, let's say this is 10 over points. Yes, over point, it's great. I can even choose a round point and make it go up a little bit. And let's see. Let's move it a little bit more. Yes, you can see now in green we have recovered, in gray we have total number of cases, and in red we have deaths. And you can see in Italy and Spain, for instance, we have very few recovered cases compared to the number of cases in total, and in Germany we have more than half. It's another way to represent your information. So this is how to quickly create your own coronavirus map by changing the point symbology and adding some attributes by yourself. Note that we calculated the percentages and we can show them here as well. We can show, instead of the cases, we can show the percentages. Let's go with this. Let's say we have cases and percentages as in terms of from the whole population, and we choose gray for the cases, and as a percentage I will choose again red, and let's see what we've got. In this case, of course, not histogram but pie chart will be more appropriate. And you can see everything is very small as a percentage from the population. And that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. It's Nicola from ADIsoft signing off. Let's hope that we all stay healthy and our loved ones as well. And let's resume our work as soon as possible after the virus is healed. Thanks for watching.